Well, I think Donald Trump has done it again. He's definitely talking about things that are a little more with a strategy that he should have had a long time ago, and that is stop talking about how terrible things are and how miserable things are with the other candidates and give us some of your plans. And I think that after all these sexual accusation scandals and how the mainstream media, actually on both sides, left and the right, have covered extensively the sexual accusations, I think that he might have finally changed his strategy for good. Uh, we posted another video where we're showing how he's concentrating on lobbying. We posted another video where he's concentrating on maybe changing the strategy of his campaign. And we have yet another indication in this last rally that he held, where he's talking about the term limits for Congress people. And we thought it was a very interesting thing for him to do. He's sort of switching gears and he's saying, okay, I'm not going to talk about how miserable and terrible America is. I'm not going to say all these cliche words and all these talking points. Now I'm going to give you plans. And that is exactly what he's doing now. And so he did the lobbying. He talked about immigration. He did mention about the rigged election, so he's not going to let that go. I think that's part of his core message, I think, because this is what just rings very loud in his core base. So he needs to say those things, and plus he brought up something new and something that, again, people have been talking about for quite some time, sort of like the lobbying thing. And this is yet another one of those deals. And this has to do with term limits of Congress. And let's watch.
There's another major announcement I'm making today as part of our pledge to drain the swamp. If I'm elected president, I will push for a constitutional amendment to impose term limits on all members of Congress. I'm proposing a term limit of 6 years for members of the House and 12 years for members of the Senate. Long time. Decades of political failure and special interest collusion must and will finally come to an end. It's time to sweep the corruption out of Washington. That is why I will also ask for a ban on both White House and congressional officials fundraising during working hours. They're always fundraising. You know, I've been on the other side. I've been given a lot of money over the years, and they always come up during the day. I say, when do you people have time to work? They don't have time to work. After 6 o'clock.
Well, there you have it. Donald Trump talked about the term limits for House, term limit for the Senate. 6 for House, 12 for Senate. And I think he's finally getting into this deal of talking about the plans, talking about specifics of what he wants to do, something that we did mention in another podcast. He also wants congressional members and Senate members to stop investing so much time in re-election activities, fundraising activities. Well, they're supposed to be working for us, working for the public. Nothing wrong with that. I think I like that idea. So I don't know how much time he has. I don't know if he has enough time to make the case for some of these new ideas he's bringing out, like the lobbying and like the congressional term limits and Senate term limits. We will see how this works out. I mean, he talked about this during the rallies. I'm sure he's going to cover this during the debate tomorrow night. And I think the polling should tell us something about 24 hours to 36 hours after the debate. So watch, pay attention tomorrow, and I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Good night.